Hello Blood Bowl fans, we've had a whole week of ADEnglish Invitational and we're going to have a look at the highlights from this week. There's actually going to be a highlight reel. It's going to be a video that's going to follow an hour after the upload of this video. This video is going live at, what time's it going live? 12 o'clock PM UTC, and the highlight reel will be going at 1 o'clock PM UTC, so depending on what time you're watching it, depends on whether it's already out or not, but it will be following. This is the first of 2 weeks for round 1, so there's still a whole week left of gaming to go before the round rolls, and there are 4 games left to be played. I'll have a look at those 4 games next week. And I don't know if this is going to be the format that I always do the rundowns in, but for now this is what I'm going to do. It's what I've decided to do this week. What I do next week, the week after, etc., I don't know. I would actually like to try and catch one game at least a week, every week as well, but I'll see if I have time to do it for this round. I've already decided what the game of the week is this week, if that is the case. And I may do a replay of the whole video with some commentary. But I may decide not to. Either way, it will be next week if I do decide to do that. Let's have a look at what's happened so far though. So we've had a couple of games played. We've had what I think was by far the most exciting game to watch. I've seen them all, at least quickly. Some of them I did skip through to catch the highlights, but I have of course been through all of the games to catch the highlights, so there have been some exciting games, but I think this has been the most exciting by far. Nerdfrog's Madden of Iron. I finally understand your team, by the way. It's about Iron Maiden. I'm really sorry that I didn't get it at first, but when I was watching the replay, I absolutely understood what the concept of the team was. And the Purple Pessimists from Varksen. And as you can see just from the score, it was an exciting game, but it really was. Both coaches really played their heart out on this game 1. And it was a well-deserved win for Varksen, but Nerdfrog, oh, bless him, he tried so hard. And if we have a look at the game very quickly, so 2 touchdowns, 2 passes, 4 armor breaks, and Line Woman got Woman of the Match. And 4 touchdowns, 4 passes, 11 armor breaks, with a loner getting man of the match who was agility busted, so I wouldn't be surprised if he got fired. I didn't want that, I wanted SPP. There was quite a lot of development on both teams, so that's really nice to see. And yeah, it's so clear now that these are all Iron Maiden songs, so sorry that I didn't get it. Anyway, that was the one game. I'll go through all the teams at the end of the next week, so I'll do all the teams in one go to see what's new and what's old, and in general just have a look at the teams. We also had this game. I saw this one live actually on Blissfulfire's channel. You can find him on the content creators page. His content does auto-ping on my channel. He's both a YouTuber and a caster, and he did cast this game. I also think that Varksen cast the game between him and Nerdfrog, and same thing. Varksen is a content creator, so you can catch his channel in my approved content as well. But this was a really tight game right until the end. I'd like to say that Blissfulfire made a mistake, and Undo managed to score off the back of it. This should have been a 0-0 draw, this game, to be honest. But Undo did get away with it. So ICBB Hell, 1 touchdown, 11 armor breaks. And Cool Hand D-Man, one of the cool hands indeed on the ADEnglish channel, got Zombie of the Match. He's movement busted, but that's not such a big deal on a zombie. He's basically line fodder. And the Punishers got 10 armor breaks, and Greens, the Black Orc, got man of the match, and actually leveled up off it, so that's interesting and nice to see. It was a very just moving the ball around kind of game, but eventually a werewolf did break away and score. There was actually an interesting turn 15-16 moment where Blissfulfire had the chance to actually get the ball up the field with a pass, but he didn't pass, unfortunately, so it made it much harder on his turn 16 to actually get the ball over the line, but he tried. So we've got quite a lot of SPP, well, average SPP on the ICBBL Hell team, and slightly below average on the Punishers, so a bit of a slow development game for the 2 coaches there. Panic in the Mansion and Springfield Splatoon still has to be played. That's Mego the Vampires against Harringzord the Ogres. That game will happen at some point this week, so keep your eyes peeled, because Harringzord is also a caster, and I'm sure that he will cast his game. It also pings automatically on my channel. And then we go on to Division B, which is actually already finished, funnily enough. And one thing I will say as well, that I do update the document as I go along, so the top ping in the Invitational coaches page on Discord. It's constantly updated with the current scores. It has an obituary, and it has all of the rounds, including a table that looks like this table here, but it's all in the document. So if you do want to find what's been going on in the game, you can find it via the document there. So this whole round is finished. I have seen all of these games, at least partly. The game between Mark Mail and Krisjay, you can see a replay of the video on Krisjay's channel on YouTube. The Rivertown Pie champions went 1-1 against Fies Bretons. It was an interesting game. It was quite clear that it's not Mark Mail, sorry, is it? It's not Mark Mail, sorry, it's Chapuzé and Krisjay. Yes. So this game is actually available on Krisjay's channel. You can see it and watch the halflings hold their own against the Bretonians somehow. But Tackle Bretonian did a lot of work, but the halflings did manage to somehow get away without eating all the pies. And halfling MVP, lineman MVP, that's not what we want, but okay. 1 touchdown, 1 pass, 5 armor breaks for the Bretonians, and 1 touchdown, 1 pass, 1 death. It was a glorious death, perfect halfling style. 8 armor breaks and an expulsion. There was actually quite a lot of fouling from the fat little guys. And the SPP went more in favor of the halflings, which is kind of interesting, but there we go, looks like this. Very fun game. And this one is Mark Mail, I believe. Let me just check though, so I don't call everybody Mark Mail. Yes, it is. So, the Undead against the Reptilian Boys. This was, I think this goes for the most shocking deaths in the game. There are 2 deaths in this game, 1 on each team. You can see the highlights in an hour. I'm not going to spoil it now, but there was a death in both teams. And 2-0 to the Reptilian Boys of Weave, the Lizards against the Undead team. And let's have a look at how they did. Poncho the Mummy got man of the match, that's awesome, and Satanist Thesaurus got man of the match, and Satanists actually leveled up. We got 1 death, 12 armor breaks, 2 expulsions, lots of fouling on the Undead side. It was a very regular occurrence during the game, and 2 touchdowns, 1 death, but it was a block that killed it, not a foul, and 7 armor breaks for the Lizards, and both scores went to a skink. And we can see here the distribution of SPP, kind of average on both teams. Lastly, then, the Nobel Animals, and I didn't really pay enough attention to this team either. The names on this team are fantastic. Watching the replay, I really got to look at them, and holy crap, you spent a long time naming them, so I got to give you total credit, Stouticus, and they're all beautiful. And this game was incredibly brutal, especially for the Skaven. The Skaven had it really rough, but they did well actually to keep it down to 2-1, and it wasn't too far away from a draw, but the Underworld did come away with it in the end. 1 touchdown, 5 armor breaks, and Charles Darven got man of the match, a lineman. And on Punderworld, 2 touchdowns, 22 armor breaks, and a lot of them were really quite painful. And 1 expulsion, there was quite a lot of fouling on the Punderworld team. And Big Bad, the Warpstone Troll, got man of the match, and he may have even leveled up off the back of this game. Let's just check. Yes, he did. I thought he did. So, kind of average for the, well, below average actually for the Rats, and above average for the Underworld team. It was actually a really interesting one to watch, though it was painful if you were rooting for the Skaven. So, there's that. And because this round is finished, let's actually have a look at the leaderboard. So, Weave sits at the top with the best win, with 2-0, so 1-0-0 record. Punderworld is slightly behind from Carlosips with 1-0-0 2-1 win. The Bretonians and Rivertown Pie champions are joined third with a draw apiece, and I guess the Bretonians are slightly above because there was a death on the Halfling team, but it wasn't a kill. And the Nobel Animals are just behind with 0-0-1, Stouticus's fantastically named team, and Academy Madder at the bottom with 0-0-2, unfortunately for Mark Mail. Let's see what's actually going to happen next week with these teams. I may do this again in the next video, but let's have a look. So we've got the Underworld against the Bretonians. That's going to be hard for the Bretonians, I think, considering how foul-happy Punderworld are. The Skaven against yeah, the Skaven against the Lizardmen, which is going to be a tough matchup for both of them, I'm sure. And watching the two of them play, that's going to be one to watch, actually. That's going to be an interesting one. And the Halflings take on the Undead, which is not a good matchup for Halflings, but we'll see what happens there. Maybe we can see some more Halfling flinging for the Pie Champions, hopefully at least. So that's it for Division B, actually. Division B is done. Next up then we have Division C. 2 games I think were played here. No, just the one. Okay, I'm going crazy. This was a bit of a shock result, to be honest, considering the two teams, but Kislev put away the Chaos Dwarves 2-1. Panzer Bears of... I want to say something else. Manasatra, yes, that is indeed the... Sorry, Manas, forgot who you were for a second. So Manasatra took on Fallenglory, and yeah, a bit of a shock result, but I did watch the game. It was a totally fair win. There was some problem with the weather for sure, but overall, even though the dice maybe slightly favoured the Kislev, I don't think it was so. I basically think Manus Atra got away with a little bit more than he should have, but at the same time he played incredibly well, so can't fault him the win there. 2 touchdowns, 4 armor breaks, and Vladimir Kurikin gets man of the match. And the Rock Legends, this weird new Chaos Dwarf face, Paranoid, gets man of the match with 1 touchdown and 15 armor breaks. The armor breaks didn't help though. Kind of average SPP for the Panzer Bears and also for Rock Legends. Nothing too surprising there. We still got my game against Miso to go and the Manchester United of Sir Madness and the Cut Cats of Monkey Chunks left to go. So these 2 games are left outstanding, but we've got a whole week to play. So no problems there. I'm recording on Monday, by the way, so if any game has been played on Tuesday, that's why I haven't looked at it yet. Or if indeed anything has been played on Monday evening, that's also an option. And then round D, where I'm pretty sure there are 2 games played, because there's only 4 games left, and we've looked at 3. Yes, there are 2 games. Okay, why are these games not validated? I don't know. Interesting. Well, I will validate them during this now. Anyway, so the High Elves against the Nurgle team. This game was pretty interesting to watch, actually. The score doesn't say so, but there was a constant battle of trying to get the ball into each other's half, and I'm pretty sure that both teams scored on their opposition drive. So it was solid defending that led to... No, it can't have been, actually. It was interesting with the High Elves because they had a piece in position turn number 2 to score, and basically he stalled it out all the way to about turn 6 and finally managed to get the score. And Nurgle return scored right on turn 15 after battling their way up and down the pitch. It was quite impressive to watch, actually. Lots of good positioning and overall good play on both sides. So looking forward to seeing more from both coaches. Smoko I know very well, and I want to say Storm Raider it is. And Storm Raider proved himself able to handle Smoko, which is always impressive to see. The Teeny Greenies, which is the Goblin team of Urban Zorro, and the Belgian Bulls, the human team of Gengar, are left to go, but a whole week left, like I keep saying. And then there was the Khemri and the Dwarf match owned against Grey Fox. All I can really say is that this game happened. I watched it, and it was like watching clowns trying to chase down a ball, actually. There was lots of mishandling. There were a couple of failed dodge attempts, and it was kind of all round pretty funny, actually. But at the same time, it must have been incredibly frustrating for both coaches. There was a lot of ball being fumbled, basically, and the reason that the highlights are as they are because that was really... I just wanted to show that the game happened, basically. That's why I put the highlight exactly where I did from this game. But well done to both teams for not losing the match, so there is that. Not really sure, again, why this hasn't been validated, but if there is problems with validation, guys, please let me know. I didn't see any problems watching the replay back, though, so I'm going to take it as both games were fine. And yeah, that's it. That's basically it for this week. So there's going to be a highlight reel following in about an hour. Both videos are already done, so it is going to automatically trigger, but I will have a look at the last 4 games next week on Tuesday as well, just before the roll of the round. And I'll also have a look at the Hall of Fame, things like this, to see what's going on. So, thank you guys for watching. That's all for ADEnglish Invitational so far. Keep playing these fantastic games, keep letting me know what's going on. Thanks guys, bye bye for now.